You know, in history, Indiana has never beat Penn State in football. How much are you guys using that as a motivator?
I mean, we got some things we can accomplish as a team that hadn't happened in a while, and I guess you could say it's one of them. But bottom line, just because it's happened in the past, good or bad, doesn't mean that moving forward. So, you know, this team's 1-3. This team's yet to play this game. So, just because you did it good in the past or bad in the past, it's coming up. So, that's not our rallying call. Our rallying call is we're getting ready to Big Ten play. We haven't played as good as we need to. We haven't played as good as we're capable of, and we're just talking about trying to improve our game.
Have you seen the veterans practice the way you want them to practice?
We're getting there. We're getting there. I think too is missing. I mean, we practice shoulder pads every Monday, full pads every Tuesday, full pads every Wednesday, shoulder pads every Thursday. So we didn't change that. I think we just changed some dynamics of the way we did practice, so it didn't become lethargic, stale. I mean, we're teaching our team how to hit, and we've been, you know, we hit every day we can. So we don't have walkthroughs and stand around and all that. So I think that came out maybe wrong the other day on Monday. Not a big deal, but the thought we had was just changing up some of the drill work or the way things are going so practice doesn't become stagnant or, hey, you know, it's almost like you become so mundane, routine, it almost gets a little boring, even though you're working hard. And it's like you're, you know, the old blue-collar work is just punching a clock, getting us 40 hours in and out. So our change was to try to find positive ways to create some energy, some drill work, some competition. That's went good, and I think the seniors have done good short-term. But, again, it always goes back to performance, too. I mean, you lead well and things – you know, continue to evolve when you perform well. So it'd be nice to see some of these guys transfer into let's have a good game on Saturday and play well against a good team.
Who's progressing better as a group, the younger guys or some of the older upperclassmen just picking up the system and how you guys are practicing?
Well, you know, in general, to me, when I look at our team right now, the old guys are doing pretty good, although I think they could just do more. And young guys are actually a very talented group, and again, it's not, as the first coach, first year, it's not my group for the bulk of it. Those were previous recruits, so we're not trying to steamroll. This is, you know, that's not the deal. That's those guys were here. The discipline group is some of the second, third year guys, the middle guys. We're not getting much out of those guys because if you look at it, we're playing seniors and young guys. So how many juniors and sophomores do you see out there? And that's the group that really needs to. When I keep saying old, that's an old guy to me. You've been here. You're a third year sophomore. You're redshirted. You're in your third year. What are you giving us in kickoff cover, kickoff return, whether you're a backup linebacker, DB, what are you, defensive lineman, et cetera? What are you giving us backup receiver? And that's the group that we, you know, and that's the group as you work where sometimes there becomes some negativity with like, hey, I'm not playing. What's going on here? A lot of times you expect to get redshirted, but when some young guys that went guys by some, that's the group as we move forward. The seniors have not been phenomenal, but they've not been bad. They're good kids. Just I think there's more, and they need to set a more vibrant example. But the group that really needs to pick up as go through is some of just the second, third year kids need to fight through and bust through the wall and start contributing better. And that's what would be nice to see some of those young linemen, both sides of the ball. I mean, you got freshman linemen playing instead of some second year guys. You'd like to see some of those guys come through. So that's really a group that's, to me, where I'm trying to focus with development for guys. Seniors, they're gaining. They've never been negative. And we've never had a day where I felt like they're not getting us. I just think they could give us stronger, better. And that's just teaching how to. But again, when you're not winning or you're not performing well, it's hard to be a great senior leader. So I'm just trying to encourage those guys to pick it up. They have. They always have. Again, be interested to see some of those second, third year cats. If you see those guys filter into play as the year moves along, that's the intriguing group to me to see what we can get as we move forward.
Talk about coaching against Joe Paterno for the first time. And is this a pretty typical Penn State team?
Well, I mean, they look, and I haven't seen them. I know they had a few years where, you know, they might not have been up to their standards, you know, but they've kind of gotten back on track. And it's not just Coach Paterno; it's their whole staff who seem to have been together forever for the most part. So phenomenal continuity, a tremendous, you know, tradition. But at the same time, it'll be a great challenge. I never. You know, to me, it's always the team and the group and not the guy. And, of course, he's one of the icons and one of the greatest, if not the greatest of our games. So I don't get caught up of, hey, we're going against Joe Paterno, we're going against Penn State, we're going to play in the Big Ten, you're going to play great teams. Here's the first one of many really good teams. Let's look forward to see if we can start stepping up, delivering, playing like a Big Ten team because we got to get used to it because we're going to play that every year. It's time we start holding our end of the bargain and getting some wins.
What's it like preparing for two quarterbacks, I guess? I mean, are they – sounds like they do a lot of the same stuff. Is that what you guys see in terms of game planning for them so far?
Yeah, although I do think last game, you know, one guy got in a little bit better passing rhythm, and with that came some big plays. But I don't know if they're completely – and that's really when you play two quarterbacks. If they're different, it's really hard for the offense because one time you're doing one style of offense, so you got the running quarterback, you got the option junk. Then you got the passing, quarterback passing. Well, then the linemen are learning two different offenses. Or the first team's running a passing offense and the second team's doing an option offense. All of a sudden, the second team guard has to play and he's not up to speed. So what's unique for them is they do a lot of similar things where they can, a lot of similar passing. So it's not like they have tendencies. I'm sure each quarterback has certain things he likes better in the throwing game, and they probably have certain things they slightly emphasize, but they're basically the same guy.
What the three receivers, DeMarlo, Kofi, DeWeese, how are they doing?
Good. DeMarlo's probably practiced the most. The other two are they're just nagged up with some, little ankle here, back issue here on one of the guys that they're practicing, but there's some limitations. And that being said, some of the young guys, and Jamon's in the mix, and some of the young guys with Dre Muhammad. So you'll get what you got last week, and hopefully a little bit more. And I'd like, with the way DeMarlo's practiced, he looks good. I don't know if he's 100%, but I'm sure he's going to be in the mix. And I think as we go through tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, we'll see how far we can get Kofi and DeWeese and where they're at.
This might be more of an off-topic question, but are you happy that you're in a conference that has some stability as opposed to kind of the things that have been going on in the Big 12?
Oh, I don't think they. I got enough issues with worrying about. I kind of do my. My job is to worry about our program, recruiting, and player development, and building a fan base and getting this thing pointed in the right direction. And they made a big deal about the 9-game schedule. One of my comments was, well, odds are we'll either be in a new league or they'll have a new coach by 2017. So why am I worried about that? I need to worry about this game this week. And I said that back in preseason when they said we're going to a 9-game schedule. I said it'll never happen. We'll have a whole new league set up by then. And maybe we won't. I mean, they're very smart people. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of dynamic, and there's dynamics from the national level, not NCAA, from legislative government issues where teams, who's in the mix, who's not. A lot of money. It's big business. It's a very delicate issue. Gender equity issues. There's a lot of issues that will make that thing tick, and it's kind of interesting. I don't believe all the speculation, who's in, who's out. A lot of guys are bluffing, playing cards. I don't think anything's unstable. I just think we're in a period, the next 3 or 4 years, I think guys are kind of working to finalize this deal out of how many teams are in that big bracket as we move forward.
Did you talk to Bob at all during that period where it was really up in the air? And
who's that?
Bob Stoops during that period?
When they were doing it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, we were down, a year ago, and we never talked about it. I mean, as coaches, you're worried about blitzes and which quarterback's in and what they do. And if they're going to schedule a game, we got to play it. And it's going to, they're going to show up 12:04, 12:01, whatever it is. And we're going to run and play them. And next week, there'll be someone else. And I don't think they're dropping our sport. And we're going to play games next year, and there'll be a conference, and maybe some non-conference games get switched around, or maybe you got to double up. Everybody makes a big deal this year. You got to double up Ohio State, West, whatever. You're going to get them back the next time. It's all even, 4 home, 4 away. That's not an issue. So all those schedules keep working out. So, I mean, Coach Stoops, he might have an opinion, but really, there are people over him that are phenomenal leaders with the Big 12, the commissioner, the president, the AD, and it's the same way here. Our school president, our AD, they ask me my thoughts, but again, they've got a big picture of all sports, all athletics, and there's a lot of dynamics. I don't view it as a football deal, although that's the one driving it right now because of money. There's a lot of dynamics. It's pretty neat on the outside looking. I think it gives you guys a chance to write about a lot of things, but I don't know at the end, as coaches, if we have that much say. And like I say, we're gonna have a lot of games on TV, and we're gonna show up and play, and the Big Ten will keep moving forward. Maybe there's subtle changes, but I think it's actually pretty neat. And I think we're a part of change. I do think Coach Stoops said it best. We're at a time of change in college athletics, and I think it's a time of positive change. I think with the NCAA and everything, getting things up to speed with the rules, the text messaging, the summer leagues, there's a lot of transition in college athletics right now. It's kind of neat to be a part of it. It'll be neat as we move forward how it settles down, because it's kind of been a certain way, and you sense right now, I don't know if there's an agenda, but you sense there's some change, and hopefully it's going to be great change for everyone.
Did Darius Willis clear his appearance at the Infinity Pro Wrestling event with anybody in the football department?
No.
So is he still on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's on the team, but he's on scholarship. He's medically not allowed to play, and we're going through the process to see if he would be declared a medical hardship, which means he can no longer play.
So does his appearance Saturday compete with any eligibility requirements from the NCAA?
I don't know. It'd be something for compliance to ask.
Okay.
Which would be interesting.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.